This is the Red Sox POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the Boston Red Sox, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Well, I'm not really sure where I should even start. Let's simply say a first for the Red Sox. First extra inning win on the road this season. Carlos Narvaez, how can you not be romantic about baseball? Cuts down a would-be base stealer for the final out in the 10th. Boom, two-run home run, one big swing of the bat. And the Red Sox do hold on in Philadelphia. Sunday, they avoid the sweep against the Cubs at Wrigley. Wednesday, they avoid the sweep against the Phillies at Citizens Bank. Now they go home for the next three against the stumbling Los Angeles Dodgers. With that, we welcome you into our latest Locked On Red Sox postcast. I'm Steve Lennox, longtime play-by-play announcer and storyteller, calling over 1,000 games in the minors. Spent one glorious Saturday in the show calling Padres Dodgers from Dodger Stadium and ESPN Radio's national radio broadcast. Alice Burks, to this day, still one of my all-time favorite Red Sox players. We are providing reaction every Red Sox game on the Locked On Red Sox YouTube channel. Our Locked On Red Sox postcast also available on the Locked On Red Sox podcast feed, which is free and available wherever you get your podcast. Our latest Locked On Red Sox postcast sponsored by Monarch Money. Take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com for 50% off on your first year. On our latest Locked On Red Sox postcast, we are discussing Carlos Narvaez. Two-run home run in the 11th inning. Brennan Bernardino gets the final out in the 11th. Yes, the Phillies got a run in the 11th inning, but they pull off the victory. Down 5-0, a lot of two-out magic, and a grand slam off the bat of Romy Gonzalez when you thought this was going to be a series sweep and they were going home 1-5 instead. 2-4. You don't like it, but 2-4 certainly better than 1-5. And the Red Sox do pick up the victory. We do want to hear from you. Audience participation from our Royal Rooters is certainly encouraged. We want to hear from you, our everydayers and our first-timers as well. Hit that comment button if you're with us on the Locked On Red Sox YouTube channel. Share your thoughts on the victory. Maybe you turned the TV off and just came back at some point in the middle innings and realized a 6-run inning, all with 2 outs, and the Red Sox taking the lead and then winning it. Alex Cora pulled out all the stops. We'll touch on that as well. So, again, 2-4, a lot better than 1-5. You get on the plane tonight, head home, and a deserved day off, let's call it that, for Thursday, especially with the way they came back. Lucas Giolito needs to be better, though, going forward for the Sox as well.
This is what you'll be talking about.
Gonzalez, two-out walks with the bases loaded in the 5th inning. And then Romy Gonzalez makes it 6-5 in favor of the Red Sox. Red Sox down 3-0. Giolito giving up home runs to Schwarber and Harper in the 1st inning. And then Alex Cora had to do what he did. I don't want second guessing at all because it was the right move. And then Chapman gets Schwarber on a pop-up for the final out in the 7th inning. Schwarber now 0 for 9 career with 5 strikeouts against his former teammate, Aroldis Chapman. Then Chapman in the 8th inning gets Harper on the first pitch as he pops up to the left fielder. Then Castellanos a pop up to right field. Then Real Muto with a 2-run home run. Red Sox do get a run in the top of the 10th inning in this one. Yes, they were able to score. Trevor Story RBI double. Looking for more with Story at second, less than 2 outs. Yoshida hits one the opposite way on the ground to third. Doesn't move the runner along. And then Story cut down between second and third. I would have liked to have seen him hold simply because Rafaela on that ball that was hit towards third, Rafaela busting it down the line, you give him the opportunity to try to be safe at first base. Story instead runs into the out, and the top of the 10th inning was over. But Carlos Narvaez, as I said, bottom of the 10th inning, cuts down the pinch runner for Kyle Schwarber, who delivered with an RBI single. Then in the bottom of the 11th, I was all ready to profess my love for Jorge Alcala. Gave up the 2-out RBI base hit. That made it a 1-run ball game. Rojas did a nice job staying in. Bernardino comes in, gets the strikeout of Kepler. Winning run at the plate. Bernardino ends it, and the Red Sox again pick up the victory. Matching their largest comeback win of the season, down 5-0 early on. Lucas Giolito has to be better because he has not had he's had rough starts, I should say, first 2 outings against the Cubs and against the Phillies out of the All-Star break. So that's something worth monitoring. But the at-bat of the night for me, the home run by Romy Gonzalez. That broke an 0 for 20 at the plate for Romy Gonzalez. And after Narvaez, the home run, Eduardo Perez mentioned it on the ESPN broadcast. I'll have a thought on that in just a moment. It's going to be a brief one. But Anthony had a double as well. He was left stranded in the top of the 11th inning. But he had a double. And he had a rough series. I think he struck out, 9 times total in the series. Duran, by the way, striking out 4 times. And Luzardo, like Christopher Sanchez on Tuesday, didn't allow a base runner of any kind over the first 3 innings. Refsnyder, home run to lead off the 4th against Sanchez on Tuesday night. Refsnyder led off the 4th inning with a walk. And then Luzardo just lost it, really. And they could have been out of the inning, but the Red Sox were able to capitalize all the runs scoring in that 5th inning, the 6-run frame with 2 outs. Bases loaded walks in the inning. Meyer, touch on him in a moment as well, as he left the game with right wrist soreness. But Meyer had a walk to load up the bases. Refsnyder, ball 4. That forced in a run. Duran, ball 4. That forced in a run. Then Gonzalez, the grand slam. I used to work for ESPN. But maybe like you, I was basically almost yelling at the TV when they did the little shtick with the Philly fanatic, Carl Ravitch in the booth. That was painful. Marcelo Meyer, injury. Don't know what it is right now. But down 5-0, I'm thinking, do they do something now? Off day, open up a series against the Dodgers at home. Do they do something to sort of smack the team in the face? 1-5 road trip. I thought during the game, okay, 1-5 road trip. Instead, 2-4. But last year, Dodgers, Rockies out of the break. And as they got pummeled by the Rockies in the series finale, whispers came out. They made it official after the game. Alex Cora, contract extension. Like, well, what are they going to do? Smoke and mirrors if they go 1-5 on this trip. What are they announcing? Another extension for Alex Cora? Pulled out all the stops. And I'm not saying that he was a step or two ahead of Rob Thompson, but he just, used the bench. Alex Bregman came on as a pinch hitter late in the game. That was for Romy Gonzalez. You pinch hit for a guy who would have grand slam and put you in front earlier in the game. Bregman didn't get the job done, though, as he lined out to left field, left Duran at second base. But Duran then scored on the RBI double by Trevor Story. That's picking your guy up. Red Sox ultimately pick up Aroldis Chapman. When he got the final out in the 7th, you pretty much understood he's going to get the 8th inning. He got Schwarber, and then, as I mentioned, in that 8th inning, got Harper and Castellanos, gave up the home run to Real Muto. It happens. I said it last year with Kenley Jansen. Sooner or later, he's going to give up a tying home run or he's going to give up a lead. You just hope it doesn't hurt you. So a team win all the way around. It really was, in so many different ways. Too many strikeouts again. Yes, absolutely. Runners in scoring position, not great. And that certainly adds up. 3 for 13, 7 runners on base. But when you start with a runner at second base in the 10th inning, then again in the 11th inning, you don't come through. That's an offer. That adds up. 3 for 13. But Narvaez, certainly talked a lot about him over the previous couple of days. Cuts down a base runner. I believe they said on the ESPN broadcast, the 23rd runner he's cut down this season on the bases, on a potential stolen base. And then he hits the 2-run home run, snuck it over the wall in left field. That's a bandbox in Philadelphia. It has been since day one. Giolito, Wilson, Hicks, Chapman, Whitlock, Weissert, Alcala, Bernardino got the final out. That's a lot of pitchers. 5 home runs allowed in the game. Lucas Giolito, you've got to be better out of the gate. Gave up 4 of them, and Chapman gave up the tying home run to Real Muto in the 8th inning, that coming with 2 outs. Now you go home. You want a number of the night? Now you go home, and you're home for the first time out of the All-Star break, where you've won 7 in a row at Fenway, 9 of 10, and 15 of the last 18. Go take 2 out of 3 against the Dodgers. You've got Bayo. You've got Kershaw versus Crochet on Saturday. And then you've got Buehler against his former team on Sunday. Ohtani, if he's going to pitch, it looks like he would be in relief. I'm not sure if that's going to happen, but Dustin May, I believe, is a starting pitcher for the Dodgers on Sunday in the series finale. Take 2 out of 3 because the Dodgers have been stumbling. They really have. So you got to get into their bullpen. You think you can do that against Sheehan on Friday. You should be able to do that against Kershaw, who's, I don't want to say he's just a 5-inning pitcher, but he's kind of become that. So you get into the Dodgers bullpen early Friday. You can set that up for Saturday and then Sunday, possibly. You've got a chance to win 2 out of 3 in this series. Get to the bullpen because their bullpen, I dare say, in shambles. That's the way I would put it. 1-run victory, extra inning victory on the road for the first time this season. Boy, the despair. Down 5-0. Thinking about what we were going to talk about. Well, we're not going to talk about that because we talk about a comeback win instead, and we hear from you next. Locked On Red Sox Postcast. And we are presented by Monarch Money. Locked On Red Sox Postcast. Locked On Red Sox, your team every day. Ever wish managing your money felt easier? With Monarch Money, it can. Whether you're growing your savings or planning a big purchase, Monarch puts you in the driver's seat. It's like having your own personal CFO, Chief Financial Officer, giving you full visibility and control over your finances. Monarch Money is more than just a budgeting app. It's a complete financial command center. You can track all of your accounts, investments, and spending in one place. So in addition to managing your money, you're also building on your wealth. With Monarch Money, you can track your spending, and with the app, you can have all of your accounts in one place and manage your money day to day. Take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com, and you're going to receive 50% off on your first year. That's monarchmoney.com, code LOCKEDONMLB for half off your first year. Locked On Red Sox Postcast, also presented by Open Phone. Hey, if you're running a business, you know that every single missed call is money that's left on the table. Think about the last time you had a service emergency, like a burst pipe. If the first plumber did not answer, did you wait? No, you didn't. You called the next plumber. That's why having a reliable business line is so important, and that's why you need Open Phone. Open Phone is the #1 business phone system that helps you streamline and scale customer communication, all from an app on your phone or on your computer. Did you juggle 2 phones just to keep business and personal calls separate? Open Phone can solve that instantly. Your whole team can now share one number and respond to customers like a shared inbox. No more around the office of, hey, who's handling this? And the AI agent handles after-hours calls, answers common questions, and captures leads so you never miss a customer again. Open Phone right now is offering Locked On Red Sox Postcast listeners 20% off on your first 6 months at openphone.com/LockedOnMLB. That's openphone.com/LockedOnMLB. And if you have an existing number with another service, Open Phone will port them over at no extra charge. Open Phone, no missed calls, no missed customers. Log on to openphone.com/LockedOnMLB. And again, you'll receive 20% off on your first 6 months. All right, let's get into this. Your comments in just a moment. Sox, 4th Grand Slam of the season. 2 by that guy Devers, Rafael Devers. 1 by Abreu, now 1 by Romy Gonzalez. His first in the big leagues, by the way. 4th home run this season for Romy Gonzalez with 2 outs. So, again, 2-out magic. All 6 runs in that big inning with 2 outs, including the 2 bases-loaded walk and the walk by Meyer that kept the inning alive. And Luzardo just sort of lost it at that point in time. 5 more extra base hits. This is where the Red Sox have success. 4 doubles. And actually, I guess it's 6. 4 doubles and 2 home runs. So that's 6 extra base hits. And now 94 over the last 21 games. The 2 home runs, grand slam, and the 2-run home run by Narvaez in the 11th inning that proved to be the difference. And the Red Sox are run in the 10th inning. Yes, you're the visiting team. Yes, you want more than 1. Schwarber came through bottom of the 10th inning. In a blink of an eye, the game was tied up. And then you got the 2 in the top of the 11th inning on the big swing off the bat of Carlos Narvaez. Again, first extra inning win on the road this season for the Red Sox. Get on the plane, be happy. Day off on Thursday, first of 3 against the Dodgers at Fenway on Friday. Who is our leadoff hitter? Adam Baum. Man, what a thrill ride. Good win. Ooh, that was a roller coaster. It certainly was. Sure am I. And now we breathe. Yes, indeed. Yeah, take a deep breath on that one. because that's one where you're pulling your hair out. I mean, there are a couple of times they flashed to Alex Cora. Great game. Pass the antacid. Right? Past the Tums. And Alex Cora, a couple of times they flashed him in the third base dugout. He had a smile on his face. Jared on TV. It seems like every season it's the same old story with the Red Sox. They go into the All-Star break on a big winning streak, but they come back from the break and they can't get their legs under them. You can say that. I think it's accurate. I mean, let's go. Next year, petition to open up at home after the All-Star break. I scrolled down there quite a bit. But yeah, the way you won Sunday, the way you won, I mean, Abreu's home run was huge. Bregman's home run off the bench was huge Sunday. Gonzalez home run, the grand slam with 2 outs to put him up 6-5, and then the Narvaez home runs. I mean, you do the yearbook video at the end of the year on Nesson. These were 2 big wins. Yeah, you go 2-4, but you got up off the mat. And in the city of brotherly love, to quote any of the Rocky movies or Creed movies that have ever been made, they're my favorite movies of all time. Red Sox on Sunday, Red Sox in Philly, with the Rocky Balboa statue just a few blocks away, maybe a mile or two. Red Sox didn't hear any bell Sunday or Wednesday. Yeah, I know I'm giving the Philly reference there, but I'm also giving the Rocky reference as well. Carlos, yeah, baby, keep the faith. On to the Dodgers. Go Sox. Go Narvi. Redemption. Adam Baum, Narvaez, you are forgiven. Hey, those are tough plays. And I think it was Buster Olney who actually, and it was a great ad by Buster Olney. Buster Olney apparently had talked to the umpires over the last couple of days, and they were, I think it was the umpires, they were very surprised at how Narvaez handled himself with the tough way the game ended on Monday, the catcher's interference again on Tuesday. Then he hits the game-winning home run. Buy the man a beer. Buy the man a cerveza. Nothing but impressed by Narvaez this year. I just don't want him wearing down. And if he just continues to give you production and be the guy who handles the pitching staff behind the plate, you take it and run with it, because you've got the answer, but you really do, especially for this rest of the year. I'm still clamoring for it. Better yourself in the backup catcher role. Maybe that enhances the opportunity to give Narvaez a couple of days off. And I'm not talking about a scheduled off day. I'm talking about 2 games off where they've got a game on the schedule. Sure am I. Great win for the boys. Let's catch the Dodgers in a funk and get some W's back in there. Yeah, you've played well at home. Don't stop now. Sure am I again. Adam Baum. My thoughts exactly. Baconator Sr., OMG. I understand that one. I'm thinking of Zach Galifianakis during the Hangover movies where he does OMG with Chang back and forth. So they brought something back from one of the, I don't know if it was a McRib or something. I'm getting way off topic there. Brian, we will look back at this one. You know what? I agree. Yeah, I really do think that's a strong possibility. Blue Jays keep winning. They've won a ton at home of late. I feel like they're about to go on 9 of 12 on the road. George checking in. Awesome game for them to come back. 22nd comeback win of the season, George. Back-to-back for George. Giolito is reversing back to his inability to go deep and get out of the early innings. Yeah, Giolito, I mean, they're still talking about it. Swimming in the deep end of the pool and going big fish hunting right now. Craig Breslow, we want a guy right behind Garrett Crochet. I don't know if it happens. Usually trade deadline moves, they fizzle out. Maybe it's during the offseason where they add somebody. I mean, you're not adding a Garrett Crochet, but you're going to have a big trade package. And Giolito, the way he finished up before the All-Star break, you're thinking, okay, number 3, but can you put someone between them? Because Bayo, Giolito, even Walker Buehler, you just never know when it might go south. Wolfie, great comeback, 100, absolutely. Paul, terrific win. Was it Fenway for the walk-off home run on Friday night? That's another one you'd be talking about. But this one, I think, even overtakes Sunday and overtakes Cedar Rafaela's walk-off that Friday night that Paul is mentioning against the Rays. Now back in Australia, and this was a great win. Onwards and upwards. Paul, I'm going to add you to the list of my friends from Australia. Glad you're on board with us. So it's Thursday where you're at there in Australia. Welcome aboard to Thursday. Jared on TV. Why is Cora starting? Why is Cora not starting Bregman lately? Because that was the plan. I mean, you've heard that, while he's going to be back as close to 100%, it's going to take another week. He came back early. He came off the bench Sunday. He came off the bench again on Wednesday. That was a little bit of a surprise Sunday, but you thought maybe, okay, it happened Sunday. It's going to happen again on Wednesday, and it did. He's not 100%. If you saw him run the bases in the Cubs series or even in this Philly series, he's not 100%. Not even close. Double by Anthony the other night. He went first to third, and it was like, you've got to take care of him. He came back early, and I just don't want a setback. He needs to be in the lineup. They absolutely need his bat in the lineup. But when he came back before the All-Star break, it was, hey, he played 2 out of 3, get a day off. He didn't get a full day off on Wednesday or Sunday, and he didn't again on Wednesday. So, he's on his feet. So they're taking kid gloves right now with Alex Bregman. I would imagine back in the lineup Friday, game 1 against the Dodgers. Good question. But Bregman's not, he might get 3 in a row, then a day off. They might extend it that far out. Angel. Roman had hard times against lefty pitchers. He did. And he had a hard time against Zach Wheeler, although he had a double. And you know what? He still had a walk. I think as a pinch hitter, he walked, and then he had the double late. 9 strikeouts in the series where he hadn't really struck out. I mean, he had struck out, but he hadn't struck out a ton in his previous games. This is the one stretch. He's coming. I was wrong about the home runs in Philadelphia. That's okay. You got to like an awful lot about Roman Anthony right now. George. Couple more minutes here, George. I think Bregman is still struggling with his injury. Yeah, he is. It's noticeable. The podcasting store. Kudos to Ref Snyder and Duran for their at-bats in the 5th. Meyer in front of them too, remember. He walked to load the bases. Their patience and willingness to take walks set up the rally. I want to see that patience and that willingness to work deep counts more often. Jared on TV. It seems like every season. Oh, I got that one. Sorry, got that one because I had gone in front a little bit earlier. CJS. Carlos 0 to hero. I don't want to. It happened. Something happened in a Major League Baseball game for the first time since 1971, and Johnny Bench behind the plate. You don't need to change the rule. It's the rule. And again, kudos to the umpires for understanding exactly that play. That happened. And then again, well, I'm sorry, I'm the play with Harper I'm alluding to on Tuesday. They knew that rule immediately. That was a balk, catcher's interference, E2. Doc Jazz, just call him that guy so we don't have to hear his name spoken. Is that guy? Doc Jazz, you're going to have to help me out there. Boom. Doc Jazz, maybe facing 4 of the top pitchers in the league had something to do with it. It did. Yeah. I mean, good pitching beats good hitting. And Roman Anthony's going to learn from that experience. You learn a lot from struggles. He struck out 9 times in the series. Again, he's had a good start. I do believe in the next 2 to 3 weeks, he's going to come through with clutch base hits. And that power is coming. The power is there. A lot of strikeouts in this series. I mean, Wheeler and Sanchez, those are 2 terrific pitchers. Andrew the GOAT. What a really good win by the Red Sox tonight. Andrew the GOAT, I tip my cap to you for being positive. It was. Okay? It was. 2-4, better than 1-5, right? On the road trip. Austin D. Austin D, do you listen or watch the games more often personally? Meaning radio or TV? Admittedly, it's more TV. And I think they're on Roku. I think they're on maybe on Apple TV in the coming days and weeks. I will have games on the radio. I love Will Fleming. I love Will Middlebrooks. That's the tandem. Mike Monaco's in there. Cooper Boardman's in there on occasion as well. So a majority of the time it's TV. And I told my wife as I sat down to watch the game Wednesday night, I should have the TV on for ESPN. I should have the volume down, and I should be listening to the game on the radio. I didn't do that, admittedly. I should have. Doc Jazz, watch nearly every game. Yes. I think that was for me. David, they should have won the first game. Should have been 2-1. Yeah, you can say that. Wrapping up, Ben. Boom. Huge win, boys. Hey, Ben, thank you. And we're closing with that. Off day, Thursday, first of 3. You've got Bayo, Crochet, and Bueller. You know Bueller wants to shove it against the LA Dodgers, his former team. We're going to be on with you within minutes of the final out of Friday's series opener against the Dodgers from Fenway Park. Again, the Red Sox 2-4 on this trip. Victories in the final game in Chicago at Wrigley on Sunday, a victory in Philadelphia against the Phillies on Wednesday to avoid series sweeps. This is now in the rearview mirror. 3 at home against the Dodgers and back out on the road next week. And then you close out trade deadline a week from tomorrow. And you close out the month of July. We are just about there for the dog days of summer. And we're not that far off from the sprint to the finish. Blue Jays won, Yankees lost, Mariners lost. So the Red Sox continue as one of the 3 teams in the AL wildcard race. Can you catch the Blue Jays? Hey, the Blue Jays at some point are going to go in a funk. Yankees and Red Sox were breathing down their necks. Now, not so much. Blue Jays take 2 out of 3, and they do it in impressive fashion. Tip of the cap to you, our Royal Rooters. Appreciate you being on board with us with our latest Locked On Red Sox postcast. Again, on within minutes of the final out Friday. Hopefully talking about a victory for the Red Sox in Game 1 of the 3-game set against the Dodgers. Locked On Red Sox postcast, number 1 place to hang out immediately after every game. Locked On Sports, your team, your Red Sox, every day.